Hi, so I'm just about to host a virtual event and it's quite early in the morning. I'm a bit tired. Yes, I've got my coffee, but it's not enough. You know, when you're in a room and it's really energetic and it's really exciting, you listen more, you pay more attention, you get more involved. So I'm hosting an event for a client. I want this event to go well. So how do I bring the energy? How am I going to energize everybody else and myself? So the first thing I'm going to do is warm up. So I've run up and down the stairs a few times. Makes me a bit breathless, but I'll be calm by the time the event starts. That's given me some energy. You know, you could swing your arms around, you could do some deep breathing, whatever works. Next thing to do, if you really can't do that, this works as well, is to imagine the most energetic person you know. You know, really try and think of that person who you always think of as bursting with energy. It can be me if you like, at least from this video. And what I try and do then is channel that energy. I really think about that person, what they're doing, how I could be a little bit like that, and really channel for it. Because that will keep me going and energized if I just keep remembering that. Also, speak up. When you're too quiet, it dampens things down a bit. So you do have to raise your little voice. You do have to raise your voice so it's not so little. Make it a bit bigger. Make it a bit more dominant. It's not going to shock people too much, because if you start strong like that, they'll get used to it. There are some exercises that you can do if you are naturally quite quiet and quiet spoken, and I can share those. I do share them in other videos actually. But the other thing you could do is to sit up or stand up. I used to work in radio, and if I was reading the news on quite a poppy music station, we would often stand to broadcast the news because it would just sound a bit more powerful. Whereas if I was working for a more gentle station, a more speech-based station possibly, or one that played more classical music, then I would definitely sit down to record that or to read that news, because it just made my voice a little bit gentler and a little bit calmer. So think about that. The delivery then is a bit more relaxed. You've got to really pump up the passion. Whatever you were talking about, whatever you were saying, you have to deliver it as if it's the very first time you've ever said that, as if you're really excited. Remember how you felt when you first heard about whatever it is you're going to be talking about. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, wow, that's going to change things dramatically for our customers. That's the kind of message and style that you want to be delivering it. It can be dull repeating information. For goodness sake, I talk about having energy all the time. But if I spoke to you about it like, yeah, so what we're going to do is have energy, you wouldn't be interested. So I have to really amp it up so that you're excited by it. And also I start to remember how excited I was when I finally got it, and when I finally realised how effective it could be for people. And that then comes through in your words. So I'm not faking it. I genuinely am excited about the difference that you can make if you're energetic. Now, the one thing I want to also remind you of is it is exhausting to do this. At the end of the next couple of hours when I've hosted this event, I will be a little bit tired, no doubt about it, but I'm not going to show that until the very end, and then I can collapse with a hot drink because I will have given it my everything.